must have been a phenomenal tour for the Springboks. 3 from 3 so far, but another massive test comes this weekend as they take on the Irish down at the Viva Stadium. I mean, we're still joined by GC with his flowers, Bokke, Ricky Schroeder, and Jaque Fourie. I mean, a massive test against Ireland, and you've played down in Dublin a few times. What makes Ireland so tough to play in Dublin?
I think the fact, that most of the Irish player comes from Leinster, so they've such a tight unit. Dublin is their home ground. They know exactly what they want to achieve there, and it's tough playing there. It's the Irish people, even though they are such nice people, when you play there, when that crowd starts singing, it's a tough place to go and win. But I mean, if there's anyone that can go do that, it's the Springboks.
And also, just to quickly touch on Ireland, mostly, the last time they played the Springboks, they beat us in Dublin. Do you think that confidence they still sort of carry on? I mean, they've got a decent record against the Springboks, probably better than most sides at the moment, won 2 of the last 3 tests against the Springboks. I'm sure, and they've got a good win against Wallabies last week. They'll sort of be confident with the Springboks going down to Dublin.
Yeah, they always have confidence playing against the Springboks, especially, like you say, winning the last test match in Durban. They've, like I said, it's a tough side, They just, when you play against them, they never die. They'll play for the 80 minutes. And that's one thing that makes them very dangerous. They come up with plans also, very clever side. They come up with plans to outwork you, to outplay you. But it's going to be tough for them this weekend. If you have a look at the Springboks now, they just flipping picking up speed every weekend, roller coasting over teams. And it's going to be tough for the Irish, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, and we're doing it with 14 men.
Yeah.
This last couple of very controversial 2 weeks it has been.
Yes.
I mean, I was touching that, Ricky, Springboks have been... So that we've played 110 minutes with 14 men. We've conceded 1 try. I mean, defensively, we're fantastic. Apparently, Russ is trying to find a way for us to start the game with 14. And then work from them. It could be a new tactic. But Ricky, where the Boks are now, the confidence in where they are now, where they've been in France and Italy in sort of a dogfight, and then somehow pull away in the last 20 minutes when the damn wall breaks.
And I think it boils down, and Musi can add on to it, like within a team culture. I think that is really what is coming to the forefront at the moment. Yes, we are playing rugby, we're playing good rugby and making good decisions. I mean, even with that second half, the past week against Italy, there was a composure but still energy. We still kept the tempo. Grant Williams, Kane and Moody. But I think it boils down to a team culture. And mostly you guys were on tour, year-end tour. It's a long season already. Players are playing URC. But what the Bokke jersey means to these guys is why we can play for the person that's not on the field at the moment. Why we can play with 14 men and still get the result. I mean, yeah, you can add on to that, Musi.
Yeah, I think if you have a look at historically also, even I don't want to bring the Lions into it now. There were some guys that we played with 14 men, and it's just like the 14 guys just lived the intensity so much higher, knowing that there's not 15 guys on the field. Each one has to give 10% extra. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But most of the time, when we've played, we came out on top with 14 guys. The Springboks, like you said, it's end of year tour, but the belief and the work rate that the Springbok team has at the moment is unbelievable. Even the test match this weekend, I think they're on the field, and after 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, the result doesn't show that, but they know come the 50, 60, 70th minute, they're going to flip and be there, and that the result will be in their way. And that's the belief they've got in playing at the moment.
Sure.
And Juice, I mean, you love the splash, you like the finesse. But I mean, there's a certain also level of hardness. They've gotten back. The scrum is good. Italy tested the scrum as well. Probably the most been tested, but the scrum in the second half is still a good play.
Kooks, can I just say, there were 2 backs in the scrum at a time, which again proves that backline players are very important in a 15-man sector.
they had to come and add. But you see, like someone like a Jasper Visa, who's been fantastic since coming back, and Delindi and Krill. But Moody gets a chance, Hooker gets a chance as well. Just we're in a good place at the moment in terms of depth-wise, because if the likes of Hooker and Moody and the youngsters can be tested by it and still find a way to win, it gets exciting to know that the guys in the stands, the circle, like the earbends and all the experienced guys, when they come back this weekend, it's the same old thing?
No, I love it. As, the Springboks at this point are, at a very, very, sweet spot because, you have options literally everywhere. I think I also saw a video before coming here today, it was emphasis around, the hybrid, our hybrid player, and the way that, he can play 12, but at the same time, when he needs to quickly adjust a defense, he's at 12. But at the same time, breaking out of the maul, making those passes, as a backline player. So he adds a little bit of, I think that the Springboks they find this innovative way, with Rassie just to adapt to any situation. It's as immediately as when, a yellow card comes in or a red card comes in, Rassie already knows, okay, where to go. Because the players are there and they can actually fit in literally anywhere. And I really like, this, Springbok and Ireland, banter even off the field as well. It's like, I already saw a tweet today. Ireland was just like, Springboks next. I'm like, okay, And, the Springboks is also like one of those tests that they actually want to play as well. I had the privilege to be at the Rugby World Cup game where Australia played Ireland. And you mentioned on it the fans on the field, but as much as there were Springbok fans there, in the numbers as they could be, all around was even Irish fans green. When they go Ireland, it's goosebump stuff. And I said off the field as well that banter. I went into an Irish pub the night before, and I had a bomber jacket on, and then inside I had my Springbok jersey. So I walk in this Irish pub. It's all Ireland, fans. It's all green, and they're sitting around the table, and they're singing their songs. I stand in the middle of this pub, in the middle, facing the Irish fans, and I take off my my jacket. I hoy the old Springbok jersey and like, go Bokke. They look at me, bro.
You were very brave.
But they were like, no, listen, join the table. Yeah. Gave me like a Guinness, and this is the night before the game. It's not even after the game. So I think it's going to be very intense.
After the game, they've got you more kids.
It's going to be very physical as well. And it's going to be really nice to see because, as you mentioned, the Ireland can be very sneaky and be very clever. At the same time, it's going to be really nice to see how the Springbok defense just adjusts to, what they will bring. And, we always find a way to win. So I'm backing the boys all the way.
It's going to be interesting, especially that game. Mac Hansen's back and Andy Farrell always has something about all these tricks he has. But mostly, what do you think of our centre stocks at the moment? We saw Ethan Hooker playing with Moody, and you got David Lendi and Jesse Creel. You got so the likes of our centre stocks look in a good place in South Africa.
Yeah, especially if you have a look at the centres that Italy had, there's probably those guys rank probably the top 2 in the world. Monicello and Brex, probably the top 2 centre pairings in the world. And to throw Ethan Hooker and Moody in there, and they look like seasoned campaigners against them, it's unbelievable. So our centre stock is looking unbelievable. If you have a look at, you can even, Ethan Hooker can play centre, he can play fullback, he can play whatever he wants to play. This guy's also an unbelievable talent, great player. Moody the same. So, we're looking good. Delinda, Damien, what a rock. That guy has been unbelievable for Springboks rugby for so many years. He is the glue that keeps the backs together and combines the forwards with the back. He can play like a forward, he can run like a back, and he can distribute like a back. JC is also a hard worker. So they've got an unbelievable back line, especially if centre-wise.
And those are guys still at home as well. It's a good fun fact that and like guys like Hedro Forster, guys like so many guys who aren't even in that mix, Dan Dupree. But it just shows that
we're blessed.
How blessed we are.
But I'm sitting here and contemplating and just thinking now, Mosi, would you back down next to the scrum? Would you see yourself as a hybrid player?
I used to. I've made a joke about it. I think I actually did that once at the Lions. I couldn't remember it was the Lions or the Stormers, and that was the only time that we went forward. So
I told you.
So we always as backs, and even at the Lions now, our forwards coach Julian Reeling, when we've got a scrum session, he calls the centres. He said, come guys, you'll have to, because if we've got a red card, whatever, we need centres to come and scrum. So that's everyday thing now for the centres to go scrum there. But
Problem is, I feel bad for the centre because back in the day when it's forwards, we're doing our scrumming sessions. You look up at the backs and you see them kicking the ball. You're like, yes. Now the 12's like,
Especially live mauls and live scrums. We must just get the consistency to get them in there as well, involved in the training session.
we had actually, before, sorry to interrupt you, we had a training camp in Rustenburg. I think we played Tri Nations. Peter de Villiers took the team and Rassie, he left Rassie behind also. So he said to the guys, okay, today we're going to train. The backs, you're going to do more stops, and the forwards, you're going to do backs moves. You're going to stop the backs moves. So we as backs thought, listen, we're going to have a joke against them. So we threw John de Villiers up the first one. He took the ball in front of Bokkies. Oh, that was the most wrong thing, worst thing we could have done.
Sure.
He just looked there, he said, okay. He said, Bokkies, okay. Yeah, the next one, Franstein just popped out screaming and crying almost. I don't know what Bokkies did to him, but that was the last. We said, okay, boys, no, don't go up. We can just let them get their ball.
Let them take the ball.
Let them take their ball.
Sure.
what happened when they get to the moves?
Oh, no, that was you. Also on the inside, but they left outside scrum off. So we knew the inside's going to be on the whole time.
That's the problem. As a forward, the problem is that these are the backs. The more stops they here. But now when you defend them, there's nothing you can do because there's space.
Yes.
But lastly, before we go, I mean, new Nations Cup, new tournament happening next season. It's exciting. The Boks fixtures have been announced. The North taking on the South. Ricky, your thoughts? I mean, on this new tournament, I think we have England, Wales, Scotland coming here, and then we've got France, Ireland, and Italy away. I mean, it's exciting. New tournament just before sort of a World Cup here, before the World Cup.
Well, I mean, Super Rugby got taken away. The Rugby Championship changed. All of these things. So I think in order for rugby to have to bring a fresh breath of air, I think this is quite a cool and amazing initiative. I can't wait for England to come here because after them beating the All Blacks, they think they are the world's greatest team now. So yes, a very interesting calendar, rugby calendar that lies ahead. And there's apparently a point system as well. That's gonna Southern Hemisphere versus Northern Hemisphere. So a lot to look forward to into the new year. I'm excited.
We go back to France next year. This guys have been crying. It's going to be revenge part 3 now because they've been saying revenge.
No, they must just give up. France must just give up now. There's no, we are their daddy. You understand? They must.
Don't give them more motivation.
Yeah, exactly. They still got the ball. Antoine must still come back as well.
No.
They're going to clip this now.
Yeah, and play it. You know, the Springbok clash. They're going to play.
They're going to invite Juicy to do that thing again.
No, they've been trying, but also I don't know, man. It's an exciting new thing, you know, because everything that's new is, you know, it's very exciting. But you know, there's always going to be now. I'm just worried about that banter that's going to come out because let's say SA probably doesn't win it. Right, and let's say England.
Let's not say that.
Yeah, let's not put that on the record.
Okay, God forbid, let's say SA doesn't win it, right? And then France or England wins it. And now I think for me, I'm just wondering, wouldn't we take credibility out of, a team that's probably going to win the World Cup? If a nation wins that, because now they'll feel that, because already with the Six Nations, because some people feel like, the Six Nations is better than the World Cup, blah, 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 blah. So, and then taking and discrediting, us as the number one team in the world, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but we'll see. It's a nice one, Let's look and see how it goes.
So the World Cup's still the World Cup. You're still going to win knockout games. It's a different beast. But mostly to finish off, I mean, we've got England coming here. I think that's going to be massive. One, what was the Six Nations side that you love playing against the most and the biggest challenge? And then two, next year, which one do you think will probably sort of worry the Springboks the most in this Nations Cup?
I think back in the day when I'm going there, when we used to play.
Yeah, when we used
that
to.
sounds a very long time ago. I think, and that's only because the stadium was unbelievable. The Millennium Stadium, we used to play against Wales. Also, 80,000 people singing Wales. And they are the roughest people. They are very rough. So when you go there, you're going to get bantered. You're walking out there, but it's all in the spirit of the game. I love playing Millennium Stadium. We also had a good record against Wales playing there. And then end of year tours playing Ireland. Like you say, that was probably the biggest game for us. Back in the day, France wasn't that, even though they beat us once or twice end of year. But the most of the time we beat them. So all of those games are tough. You know, England, Twickenham, the English also, you know, the banter they bring on a Saturday there, Twickenham was tough. But I mean, I think we were on the winning side most of the times when we played England at Twickenham. So all of them has got different pros and cons. But I mean, wherever you played in Europe, it was special.
Kooks, you asked the rugby question now, but mostly your best time on tour, best story that you can tell us.
I think it was actually the World Cup, and I've told this one, and it's actually not a lacquer story, but I mean, we had World Cup, so I think it was Marseille. So we in there, Frans Steyn used to stay with Ruan Pienaar. So Ruan is a serious guy, you know. So I go in, I get a key for their room, go into a room, and then I use their toilet. I take the number 2. So now I go, and then I leave, I don't flush. So now I leave. And as it goes on late in the week, I see these two are not lacquer with each other. This one is saying, you didn't flush. That one said, wasn't me. So that, till the stadium, when I couldn't take it anymore, I said, hey, boys, here's your key back. I can't do this anymore. I think you guys are going to be worst friends. And then they were like, woo. So, yeah, that was a great one. We have to be.
Just
I almost ruined a great friendship. So,
from schoolmates, ruining Marseille.
Oh, brilliant.
Out of all those countries, though, what's the best place to tour?
Best place, I think, you know, we've actually now, as a coach, we went to Galway, which is an island, which is a small town, fishing town, 24/7, pubs open, it's Irish music, folk music, just a lacquer place to go and visit. So I must say, Galway is an awesome place.
So the Gold Coast not, when Super Rugby was on?
Yeah, that is pros and its cons. But yeah, that was way back then. Yeah, Bras Vegas was also good. But I think now for me, you know, going to different places now in the URC, we used to visit the same places over and over in Super Rugby. But I mean, Super Rugby, in saying that Super Rugby was an unbelievable competition. But the places we visit now is a little bit different. So I'm also enjoying that.
The World Cup's 2 years away, and we don't need to choose stories about Bris Vegas. Because we will lose Juicy.
We will leave him there in Bris Vegas.
We'll leave him there.
Why?
No, you'll get lost there in Bris Vegas.
Really?
You get lost here in Joburg, but Bris Vegas will be... Yeah, Bris Vegas will be...
Bris Vegas will eat him up at the Gold Coast.
No, we can't have Juicy there. But listen, guys, thank you so much. And you guys will enjoy the game this weekend. Boks taking on Ireland. It's going to be fantastic. Nations Cup is around the corner. Still a lot more rugby to come. Cold Nations Series is going to be busy. URC comes back next weekend. We've got Champions Cup coming soon. So still a whole bunch of rugby. I know it's December around the corner, but there's now still rugby till the end of the year. Cheers.